selection is a pay-as-you-go customer, okay, we call that go, well then we have 70 over 100 also here, okay. So they're all the possible simple probabilities that we could have calculated here in relation to this particular contingency table. So let's make things a little bit more complicated, okay. Let's ask a different question, okay. Let's say, what's the probability, okay, let's say something like this. What's the probability that the person selected is a Vodafone customer or the person selected is an Air customer? That's important, okay? So let's have a look at this. Well, first of all, let me maybe go back to our rule set. Okay, here's our rules, okay? You can see that we're using the word or. So what we know is that it's the addition rule, okay? The addition rule. So the addition rule, there's two variants, okay? There's the probability of A or B is equal to the sum of the probabilities when they're mutually exclusive. Otherwise, the probability of A or B is equal to the sum of probabilities minus disjoint event. Okay. Now, the question we need to ask ourselves is Vodafone and Air customers, are they mutually exclusive of each other? Okay. What that basically means is this: is that if we go to our table, okay, if we go to our table and we look at Vodafone customers, I'll do it in this example here, yeah. We look at our Vodafone customers, there they are there, okay. Vodafone customers. If we look at our Air customers, here they are here, okay. And what we can see is there's no intersection between them, okay, so there's nothing in common, so they're by definition mutually exclusive. If you're a Vodafone customer, you're definitely not an Air customer. So now we know they're mutually exclusive. Okay, so now we know we can apply this rule here, which says that the probability of A or B is simply equal to the probability of A, which is the left bit, plus the probability of B, which is the right bit. Okay, so that gives us something like this here. Okay, which gives us the probability of Vodafone. Well, we've already calculated that. The probability is a simple event is 20 chances out of 100, plus the probability of Air is 35 out of 100. Okay, which gives us a total of, well, we've got 20 100s here and we've got 35 100s here, gives us 55 chances in 100 of getting someone that's either a Vodafone or an Air customer when they're mutually exclusive. Okay, let's maybe change this now so that we use the other rule, okay, the other rule where they're non-mutually exclusive, and let's see what happens. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, oh, excuse me. Right. So what I want to calculate now is what's the probability that the person selected is a Vodafone customer or the person selected is a bill pay customer. Now, once again, it's the or, okay, and the or, there's two variants of the or rule. Once again, we're same thing again. It's either probability of A or B is equal to the sum of the probabilities, or it's the sum of the probabilities minus the joint event when they're not mutually exclusive. Yeah. It's just the sum of them when they're mutually exclusive. So are these two events mutually exclusive? Well, let's have a look at our table. The more of these questions I do, the more overcrowded this table is going to become. So I'll use a red pen this time. You can see the Vodafone customers are these guys here. Okay. There we go. The red one. And the bill pay customers are these guys here. Okay. The important point is that there's an intersection between those two sets, yeah? Okay? Which means that the addition rule that we need to use, okay, is the second version of the addition rule, which means that this becomes the probability that it's a Vodafone customer plus the probability that the random selection is a bill pay customer minus the probability that the person is a Vodafone customer and a bill pay customer, if that makes sense, okay? So let's see what happens here. Okay, sorry, that was my phone buzzing here, so I'm just going to ignore the phone for a moment until I get to the end of this video. Okay, so now let's see what we're going to do here now with this calculation. The first two are straightforward enough. Okay, the first two are the probability of Vodafone is 20 chances out of 100 plus the probability. So when we counted these 20, we counted these 10 and these 10 people here to give us 20 in total, plus the probability that it's bill pay, well, it's 10, 15 and 5 gives us 30 chances, okay? So we have 30 chances out of 100 for bill pay. Now you can see that actually when we calculate the bill pay, we counted these 10 people in here and these 15 and these 5. And actually this process, what has happened is we've overcounted. We've counted these 10 people here twice. Once when we counted the Vodafone collection and once when we counted the bill pay collection. And these people in here, these 10 people